I find water being the great equalizer. When you look at all the racers, I look just like them. You wouldn't tell that I'm paralyzed. Feeling that I have on a Sea-Doo is freedom. I can explore places that I wouldn't normally be able to explore on my own. That feeling of your stomach moving left and right and you're feeling all those G-forces pulling you from side to side, that's the feeling that I always am chasing.
Best first question. How would your friends and family describe you?
He's fun and nice. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
He's hilarious, his dad jokes. And
angelic, totally opposite from it. My friends and family would definitely describe me as outgoing, very daredevilish, I guess, and full of energy. I was very, very competitive as a child. I was always trying to take the bike, go jump the ramp, always push the limits, make the ramp a little bit higher or go down a hill faster than someone else. I did a lot of sports. I kind of bounced around from each of them, but flying was one that I really immersed myself in, and I really enjoyed it. So I talked my parents into going into a military boarding school that was flight-orientated. I knew that that was the quickest and the surest way for me to be a pilot and fly for the military. I was a Blackhawk pilot, and I had the best job in the world, really. I was so happy in my life that I didn't want to change nothing from it. I was T-boned by a car on a motorcycle. It left me paralyzed from chest area down. It was a very low spot. It took me a while to accept what happened.
for the first year after his injury, everybody's main concern was his health. And then we realized that everything was stable and other than his injury and just really great health. Going into the second year, it was kind of whenever we started to venture out. His main concern was just trying to live as close to the normal that he had before his accident.
Danielle is probably the kindest person that you'll ever meet. She's my motivation, my rock in my life. Without her, I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. She was the one that's like, hey, why don't you try a Sea-Doo? And I was like, hey, that sounds like a great idea.
I remember we actually sat down with his doctor, and his doctor was like, absolutely not. For me, that started to close the door. For Anthony, it was motivation. He did a little bit of research, and he obviously decided that he wanted a Sea-Doo.
So we're on Lake Eufaula, where I normally train at. It's convenient for me. It's my backyard. I loved that feeling. It was sort of like flying, because you would get your stomach kind of moving left and right. That really attracted me to it. My first race was Long Beach to Catalina, and supposedly I did pretty good. So yeah, that was the bug. Ultimate goal in racing is win all the time. Race season is pretty much all year long. I love it because I get to travel a lot. I get to ride different bodies of water. Whenever I first started racing, I was obviously having issues with my legs. I met a guy and he said, hey, you should have a custom seat. My racing seat evolved like a prosthetic. It kept my legs in place where they needed to be. I can still be thrown off, but I learned to live with it.
Anthony Radetic has been rock solid.
My last win in Thailand, the offshore race, that was definitely the high point in my racing career.
Congratulations, Team USA.
That was the first time that Sea-Doo has won a major offshore race. And to do it with a guy that's disabled and an American was just amazing. Sea-Doo was my machine of choice always. From the first days that I raced the 260 RXP to the new RXP now, it has morphed into this performance machine like no other. It's awesome. Life isn't over. There's potential to do anything. There's more stuff that I'm doing now in a wheelchair than I did when I wasn't in a wheelchair. I've been offered an opportunity to fly for the Sheriff's Department here locally, so I get to feed the flying monster within me, so that's been a blessing for me. It's awesome to be back up in the skies. I love where I live. It's my little oasis. I have everything that I really need right around me. As a family, I love going out on the water. If I can rope them all in on a weekend to just go ride, that's my happy moment.
It's really nice to have the lake in your backyard and we can just go out for the whole entire day.
We usually just ride around, and sometimes we'll go out on the beach.
Mom's a bit more casual, so she'll drive the Fish Pro, and then me and Dad, we like to be a little bit faster.
Riding with my daughter is like having a shadow next to me.
It's just really fun to be out on the water with him. It's basically a one-on-one time to hang out with him. It's always the best place to hang out.
My main motto is die living. I try to live every day as if it was my last. I try to embrace everything and enjoy it because tomorrow is a gift. The moment is now to enjoy it.